Today we're going to talk about the new 2020 GT500 and other news and rumors in the Mustang hobby. I mean, right now, one of the biggest news items in the Mustang hobby is obviously the GT500. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But first of all, let's talk about sales. A lot of people talk about the 2018 and how well these cars sold. Well, once again, for the fourth year in a row, Mustang outsold the Challenger and the Camaro. 75,000 Mustangs sold to only 66,000 Challengers and only 50,000 Camaros. Now that Camaro sales is actually the worst of any muscle car in the last 6 years. So the Mustang is definitely still the sales champion. The next thing we know Ford has confirmed recently is the hybrid Mustang is going to happen, and it's going to be a 2020. Now what's it going to be? Actually, nobody really knows at this point. They said it's going to be a hybrid. They haven't said the engine. They haven't said anything else besides it'll use regenerative braking to charge the batteries and stuff that normal hybrids do. But I still, in my opinion, think it will be a true hybrid. I think it's going to have a gas engine along with the electric. If I had to guess, in my opinion, probably the 2.3 liter turbo, because from a packaging standpoint, it's a lot easier to package than a V8. Add that electric motor to a 2.3 turbo, and you're gonna have a real monster out of the hole. You're talking way more torque than a Coyote. Should be a lot of fun to drive. So we know the hybrid's happening, we know the GT500 is happening, but there's a lot of other rumors right now circling around the Mustang of new Mustangs that might be coming down the pike. Now we know at this point, Ford is getting rid of all their passenger cars. They're going to SUVs and trucks and crossovers exclusively. So what does that mean? Obviously the Mustang's sticking around, but will there be other versions of the Mustang? One version that's been very popular lately people are talking about is a four-door Mustang. To me, I love the idea. I wish they'd make a four-door. I wish they'd make a wagon. I think it'd be a great thing to have an option besides your standard two-door Mustang. Now the four-door Mustang now, where would that fall? Is it going to compete with like exotics like the RSs from Audi or the AMG Mercedes, or it's just going to be a standard Coyote or EcoBoost Mustang, but with 2 extra doors and a little more space? Now that's still up for debate. Ford has mentioned they've considered the idea, but they actually won't admit to it, so at this point, it's just a rumor. Speaking of rumors, the other big rumor with the Mustang is the crossover. Now we've heard about the Mach 1, that Ford's bringing back that storied name that hasn't been used since the 2003-2004 model year. Now the new Mach 1 though is going to be a Mustang-inspired crossover SUV. It's most likely going to be electric. So it's going to be a far stretch for a Mustang enthusiast. Taking that Mustang styling and turning it into a crossover SUV could turn into a really cool vehicle. There's also the S650 chassis. Now Ford had put this on the shelf, they had canceled it, and then they brought it back again. Now the S650 is going to be modular, which means it could have an all-wheel drive option. So now that the Challenger has all-wheel drive, you know what, the Mustang might follow suit. Now at this point, the 650 is not slated till 2021, but at that point we could have a hybrid, electric, all-wheel drive Mustang. So we've talked about electric Mustangs, hybrid Mustangs, all-wheel drive Mustangs, all the things that are pretty distant in the future. We're still talking a couple years away. But right now, the most exciting news is happening 1 week from today, and that's the Detroit International Auto Show. We're finally going to see the GT500. Now, it's going to be a 2020 model, and it's going to be available late in 2019. Now, press gets to see it first, but we should know all the specs in only a week. Now, what do we know so far? We know it's going to be a GT500, they're using that name obviously. We know it's going to have a 5.2 liter engine. Now unlike the GT350 though, it's going to use a conventional crank because it's going to have a root style supercharger on it. As far as horsepower goes, all Ford has said so far is north of 700. Now how far north? Who knows? I'd love to see 750, 760 or maybe even more. And a 5.2 with a blower should definitely be able to reach that. Now transmission options, 6-speed manual is going to be an option, and probably a 7-speed dual clutch automatic as well. Now people have asked why isn't Ford using the 10-speed, and they still might, but they've been hinting about the 7-speed because the 7-speed works a lot better with the power band of that supercharger. Now a lot of the faster cars out there that are running 10 speeds are actually getting rid of first gear now because the gears are almost too short, especially with that kind of power band. We also know they're not going to make it just a straight line car. They're building the Shelby, it's going to turn and handle as well. All the teaser shots we've seen have improved aero. They're going to have huge brakes, huge wheels. It's going to be an all-around car, definitely gunning for the ZL1 Camaro. And the biggest question people have besides how much horsepower it's going to make is what is the new GT500 going to cost? Is it going to be a $100,000 Mustang? I mean, personally, I don't think so. I mean, look at what the 350 has and the technology in that engine, and those cars are in the 60s. What's the GT500? In my opinion, 70s, maybe 80. Now, dealer markup, sure, you're gonna see $100,000 cars when it comes out, but I really don't think it's gonna be that expensive as far as a retail price on it. Now, again, this is all open for speculation right now, so let us know what you think in the comments below. What do you think the car is gonna cost? How much horsepower do you think it's gonna make? If you're looking for more news and Mustang rumors, make sure you subscribe and stay here at cjponyparts.com.